Hello and welcome to Sestra-Tainment. I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today to talk to you about things that are entertaining. And boy, have we had some entertainment since the last time that we talked to you all.
Yes.
So you might recall from our last podcast, we had mentioned that we were going to take a break for a week and go on vacation.
Yes.
And we did. We flew into Cancun, Mexico, and spent time in Playa del Carmen, in Riviera Maya. Beautiful. So, so we had a great time. Flew out on Monday the 2nd.
Yes.
The 2nd of May, and we're there till the Saturday after, and just had
the
7th, I think. Left around 4 something in the afternoon from Mexico, and got back home about midnight.
But it was just all day traveling though. Coming back was just all day.
It feels all day, because you have to get to the airport so many hours before your actual flight. It's probably the same amount of hours going and coming, but you just left earlier going. And it feels longer coming back because we didn't have a flight till 4, but we had to leave the resort at 12 noon. So to get to the airport, but we'll talk about all that fun. Okay. So anyway, so we flew. We had a connecting flight that went through Charlotte on the way there. Yep. And so quick flight to Charlotte, and then the flight from Charlotte to Cancun. I actually surprised my sister and upgraded us to first class tickets.
First
class, baby. And so we ended up doing first class. Planes had stopped serving alcohol because of all the violence that was taking place on planes. So, plenty of leg room, nice wide seats, everything extremely comfortable. This was the first flight that I had been on since COVID where everybody didn't have to wear a mask. So some people did, some people didn't. Like even some flight attendants did, some didn't, some captains did, some didn't, So it was just up to everybody's personal preference, which seems to have worked and calmed the craziness of people who were so upset that you were trying to make them wear a mask.
But you know what? I wonder if was the alcohol only for first class?
No, alcohol you could buy.
I know, but
it was free in first class, but you could buy it anywhere.
I was just wondering if they had just changed it. It was like, first class people, you can get the alcohol.
No, because on our way back, we didn't travel first class, and people were purchasing alcohol.
I wasn't paying attention to that.
Okay. So we flew out on American, flew back with Delta, and everything was great. I mean, we had the seats with the TVs in them on the way, on one of the flights there, and on the way back, or way back only.
On the way, American Airlines didn't have anything. Delta is doing it right.
Yeah, and normally American does have the TVs, but for whatever reason, we didn't have that. So
I didn't know that they had.
Yeah.
I think this is my first time flying American. Before it was United. I think we did.
Yeah, they had United. You have United Airlines,
and then Delta was there. Oh, and Spirit.
Spirit. You do travel Spirit. I do not.
Spirit was good, bro. I mean, I had my little Sudoku with my little lottery pencil. It was fun.
Okay, if you say so. So we had the nice little first class meal. Got to Cancun about. Let's see.
It was like 3 something.
Yeah, I feel like it was about. Yeah, by the time we got to the resort, it was 3 for sure because the check-in time was 3.
But that was a distance that we did have to ride.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
about
50 minutes, 55 minutes.
50 minutes, to get to our resort. We stayed
it wasn't just our resort. That we had to stop every couple of resorts to drop people off. Because remember, we stopped at.
We stopped on the strip.
In Mexico.
Yeah. So we stayed at RIU resorts that are all inclusive. Yeah. And they basically had where the bus picked up a bunch of people who probably got to the airport at the same time in Cancun, maybe within a 30-minute window. If everybody got there at the same time, then you got on this van.
It's like a little shuttle
van.
Yeah.
I guess I say bus, but it was a shuttle.
It was just a Dodge van.
Yeah, it was a van that then took you to the different resorts. And so the strip of Playa Car that we stayed on actually had multiple RIU resorts. So you had the Playa Car RIU, you had Mexico, you had a Palace Riviera Maya, you had tequila, you had, you know,
a bunch of different
Yucatan.
ones,
It's all these different ones. So that bus just kind of, or the shuttle just dropped people off at the one that they were staying at. So the good thing about Ryu that I'll share is that if you do stay with them, you kind of have access to some of the other resorts as well. So you can use their pools. You can, you know,
you do different
things.
Different shows.
Yep. Shows that are at their resort.
Different named restaurants, but still the same food, different name.
Yeah. You have to eat the dinner and maybe even breakfast you have to do on your resort. But if you're doing lunch or something like that, you could do it at the other resorts and enjoy their amenities. But then the palaces, however, you have to have a palace wristband in order to get into the palaces. So I had done last year going solo, one of the palaces and didn't realize that, I have access to all of them. They had mentioned it, but I guess I didn't put it together. Yeah. And so this time we didn't do a palace, and then when we tried to just walk in to just look at the inside, we didn't even want to do anything.
Because each of them has like a color scheme,
right? So
and
we just
where we were staying was like a fuchsia color.
What the inside lobby looked like of the palace, and they were like, "No, your wristband doesn't allow you."
Purple's my favorite color. Why can't I see the purple, the inside? Why can't I see the Purple Rain building?
Right, exactly. But it was all good. So our room was nice, not outdated per se, but you know, like I always say to people, it's great to have a really, really nice room when you're on vacation, especially in a place where you know you're going to be at the beach, you know you're going to be at the pool, you know you're going to be out and about doing things, but you don't really need it to be like top of the line, upper echelon when you're literally in there to shower and sleep. Like,
There's no reason. Yeah.
So what I did like about it is they did have, you know, because it was all inclusive, they had the little mini bar and a fridge, and they had all the alcohol, full bottles of alcohol hung upside down, and those things, and they had like seltzer water and soda and things like that.
It was one of the seltzer waters was kind of like, it was weird. The one with the yellow can, the one that I was telling you about?
Well, one was
like Canada Dry, but it was a yellow can, so it was like citrus. But it was like citrus soda water.
Yeah, so you have the soda water and the citrus soda water?
Okay.
I didn't taste it. It was not going to be appealing to me.
No, I mean, I wanted to try it because I was just like, I'm not going to drink this, but like, I mean, I just want to try it. I mean, I'm on vacation. But when I did try it, it kind of reminded me of, how do I say this? You know, you used to check your battery to see if it was good on your tongue.
It tasted, and it's like
it was like that.
And,
it was like that. That was the after, and when it was weird, that's why I was just like, what is this? I couldn't drink it, and I just poured it out. So that first day we kind of just walked around and tried to get like a lay of the land of trying to figure out where everything was.
We walked out to the beach. I think they're called coatis. Coati, I think. It's like a raccoon, but bigger with a long tail. So you'll see some of those walking around. You'll see other things that look like kind of a big rat with not a tail.
Yeah, okay, so it's like a rat. It's like if a rat and a squirrel had a baby.
Is that what it is?
But just no tail at all. Because I mean, like it would sit there and like eat stuff like it was like a squirrel. Like on his like hind legs and stuff, and it was like running around, but it was also looks like a rat. I don't even know what that was. I don't even know what that was called, but it was very. It's cute, but then it was like it's weird, but it's cute.
Right, they're definitely different looking animals. That I mean, if you're really, you know, sensitive to seeing other types of animals and you feel like, wait a minute, like I don't think I'll feel comfortable around those, then okay, maybe this isn't, you know, you probably shouldn't go to many areas in South America because you're always going to come across something. But for the most part, something is called Agouti.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know what that
is.
It's
a rodent, they say. It's a rodent, but that's what the name of it is. I mean, they had a really pretty color to them.
Like a pattern,
like a leopard pattern, but tiny leopard pattern.
But then it was also like they had like long hair that was slicked back. I don't know. It was so much going on.
Yeah, they were interesting. But let me tell you, so they had howler monkeys at this particular resort.
Oh, yeah.
Never had heard of a howler monkey before. Never had seen a howler monkey. This is my 4th time being in Riviera Maya.
Actually, you know what? I've seen them before. Didn't even know that that's what it was. But it wasn't like I seen it in real life. I saw on like TV memes and stuff like that. Never knew what it was.
Never seen a howler monkey before. Didn't know, but I got audio. So I'm going to play audio for you all of the howler monkey. Yeah, that's part of the howler monkey howling at other monkeys that were in the trees in only one section of the resort.
Yeah, only in that one spot.
He might come back in. Yeah. It was a little bit terrifying, to be honest.
Yeah, at first it's like, wait, and they just chilling here? And then later on, like, it was just like, they don't, like, bother us. We don't bother them.
You.
And what would you say you were thinking of? Like, the rise of
the apes, the Planet of the Apes. I mean, literally, when I first got onto the premises and on top of the building, there was this one monkey in the corner, and he was making that noise.
Yeah,
and it was, gosh, like, he's so loud, and he's talking to the other monkeys. And I said, is this Caesar? Is this an uprising of the Planet of the Apes? Like, what's getting ready to happen?
Exactly.
But I have to tell you, by the end of that, well, probably by the next day or whatever, like, they almost were like roosters. So early in the morning,
up, 5 in the morning,
6:30, 5, whatever 5 it was. Morning, you would just hear in the background while you're sleeping these monkeys just howling at each other.
It's like they're just like yelling, "Hey, everybody, wake up! We're hungry!" Because that's what everybody on the resort was doing. It has a big sign that says, "Do not feed the monkeys." Yep. Everybody's feeding the monkeys. So now the monkeys are just like, "Hey, the sun's up. We're up. You need to be up too."
Oh my gosh!
Give us some fruits and vegetables.
It's the craziest thing. So what ended up happening is we just kind of. I mean, you just realize the monkeys are going to be making their noise, and
they don't bother you.
They don't bother you.
They're
stay
scared
in their
of you.
own
They're scared of
area.
You, yeah.
That you never see them. They just stay right there. There's no issue here. So,
but I think it's also like once you see the size of them, because that one that was up on the roof,
he was huge.
That was a monster.
Yeah,
I don't know what chimpanzee that was.
The rest of them were like
the rest of them was like tiny, you know,
and there was
like people would have pets.
One that was so cute.
There was 3 little babies.
Oh yeah, I only saw the one little baby that was on his mother's back.
Yeah. So I did see another one. So it was one the lady like the baby head was up in the tree, and then it was another one.
I did see a baby in the tree,
and then there was another one, and that. Remember I told you about the fight that happened when the male was going over to the female, and then she just takes her baby and like moves the baby to the side, hooks her tail on the branch, and then throws the other one down, and he hits like 3-4 branches and then hits the rocks
ground.
At the ground.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't see that. But
but that was just amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing. Everybody was just like, oh, and he just like, oh, good, hold on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, good. Lady, didn't mean to, approach you like that.
Exactly.
But anyway, so but no, the resort was really nice.
It was nice.
Very, very nice spot. So shout out Ryu for anybody who's thinking of doing that. But what stood out to you on the vacation, sis?
Oh, God, it's like so much. I want to talk about the one fabulous worker that worked there.
Okay, a fabulous worker.
Yes, he was everywhere doing everything. At all times, okay? I don't even know what his name was.
We never got his name.
I never got his name. But he was fantastic. Like he should, like if he just did a drag show by himself, boom, done. That's it. They don't need to worry about any of the other entertainment. Like,
because what did we see him? We saw him face painting.
He did face painting. They were doing salsa dancing.
He was performing and dancing on the stage. When they had the acts. He was part of the pool. People who would go around doing
going around
getting
people to do different activities around the pool.
And when they had the obstacle course in the pool, he was one of the people who was participating in that, which was hilarious.
Yeah, he was the princess that needed to be saved, and all the guys had to kiss her on the mouth, and all the guys were doing it.
I couldn't believe that in COVID times, people were kissing him on the mouth.
Well, I couldn't believe. Well, actually, I kind of could.
Well,
but I was just thinking,
everybody did.
I know. I was kind of thinking. I was just like, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was funny to watch, but the obstacle course, just to give y'all an idea, it was at the pool, and it basically was they went around and picked 4 men just for entertainment purposes, because that's what we're about, entertainment. Yeah. So anyway, they had them jump in the pool, swim over to the other side of the pool, get out of the pool, do push-ups, 5 push-ups, get up, strike 3 poses, take a little teeny football-y looking thing.
No, it was a small medicine ball.
Oh,
it was
a small, teeny
3 or 4 pound
medicine ball. Put it in between your legs. Walk like a duck, basically, to the other side or the other end of the pool. Then drop that. Grab a rope. Pull the princess to the edge.
He's screaming. Ah!
Yeah, the whole time he's screaming. Ah! So anyway, pull him to the edge, give him a kiss, jump into the pool, swim over to the end of the pool, get a cup of water, drink it, swim over to basically almost where you started, get out of the pool, blow a balloon. After you blew the balloon, you have to sit on it and pop it, and then the clock stops.
Yes.
And that all had to be done, and you were trying to beat the other person's time.
Yeah, but nobody realized how hard it is to pop a balloon when your butt's wet.
Everything's wet, and it's just slipping all around. It's just slipping
and sliding.
And then one guy, poor
in
thing,
between
he
the
let go of the balloon, and he didn't tie the balloon, so then the balloon deflates, and he has to blow it up again. And it was crazy. But it was fun to watch for sure.
Absolutely.
It was kind of hilarious. So I was glad we were at the pool at that particular moment and not doing something else like our food tour.
That's true. Yeah.
We did do a food tour, which was amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so good. Like, I just want to live there and eat. Actually, I think if I lived in the streets of Mexico, I'd be 500 pounds.
Really? Just eating tacos?
Like I couldn't have a car. I couldn't have a bike. I would have to walk everywhere. That would have to be the only way that I'll have to get the weight off of me because
But I mean, oh God, the good thing is that everything. Sometimes stuff is small but filling. You know what I mean? So maybe you wouldn't eat as much.
They cook with a lot of lard.
They do. Yes.
Which lard. I mean, but the lard is so good though.
Yeah, they do.
But it's not good for my arteries. Clear kitchen trash bag full of pork skins, like it's a 20-gallon bag,
and not just tiny little pork skins.
This is just they just skin the whole side of the pig.
Yeah, so
and it was
one
just
pork skin was as big as a trash bag, basically. So it was insane.
Yeah,
and so but we ate tacos. We had agua fresca, so different flavors of like pineapple and chia water.
You had sour sop, which is Guyana Bana.
Yeah. They had watermelon water if you wanted that. Just straight pineapple, lemonade,
mango,
coconut. They had so many different flavors of water. It was all in this
cantaloupe
shop that was like a fruit stand.
Yeah, a little fruit stand.
A huge fruit stand, really, when you think about it.
It's like it was on the corner.
And vegetable. Vegetable and fruit stand. It was just
like a little vegetable stand.
We ate mole. Which I've never been a fan of in life. Like, I just don't know why. I've had it a number of times, but I've just never really enjoyed mole for some reason.
I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm not saying like I'll be like, oh yeah, let me get extra mole, but I would definitely eat it if it was on something. Yeah. You know?
It's like a chocolate-based. I mean, it has
salsa. It's like a chocolate-based salsa.
Yeah, and it has a ton of ingredients in it that you have to make. Yeah, it's a sauce that they pour over top of it. And for me, I think it's the chocolate with the food. Like, I wouldn't eat chocolatey flavor.
But the thing is that the chocolate is more of a burnt chocolate, not burnt, but like a roasted chocolate, I guess. If you could like name it, like if I could name it, I would say like a roasted chocolate sauce.
Okay, got it. But still not my fave. We had tamale to start. We had quesadillas. One was like a chicken with a red sauce quesadilla. And
I gotta find those mushrooms.
They said it was mushrooms, fungus that grows on corn.
Yeah, and it was black. So I'm like,
black fungus.
Dad, you growing some corn so I can see some of these black mushrooms. Yeah, how to make this.
And then they gave us to even start some hibiscus water.
Agua de Jamaica.
Yeah, I love a Jamaica. That's like one of my favorite drinks.
Oh my God, yes, it's so good. It's so refreshing. It's so filling. Not only that, but it definitely hydrates you. So like it's a win-win-win.
We had actual street tacos from a street cart. And so they were like, here's the extra hot sauce, here's the meat. Because with tacos in Mexico, and it's not always this way in America, is that they give you the taco in the shell. I mean, the shell of the taco. So usually it's corn. Yeah. And then you have your meat in there with onions and cilantro at the most.
But then also people don't realize that the size of the taco is not a Taco Bell taco. The size of this taco will probably be the size of the palm of your hand.
Yeah, it's small.
It's a small taco. Yeah. But it's the most delicious thing you've ever had in your life.
And you have to squeeze a lime on it.
Squeeze a lime on it. Extra cilantro. Extra onions.
Yeah. And what I ended up accidentally doing was picking the wrong salsa. Yeah. So for my shrimp taco, street food shrimp taco, which was amazing, but I put the wrong salsa on there, so it burned my face off.
Did I mishear him? Because I thought he said that It was like spicy down to like
no, it wasn't in that order, and it was because that's what the other gentleman. We were on the tour with a family from the Netherlands. Husband and wife from the Netherlands, and the husband Ben.
Their 17 and 19-year-old were in the room sleeping.
That's what it was. Okay, so then Ben, he was saying that it was what I had heard, which was super hot, mild, medium. So I was like, why would they do that? Why would they do super hot, mild, then medium? So I thought I was going for the hot and the medium, but I went for the super hot and the hot. Yeah. So then I was like, oh my gosh, what in the world was I thinking?
Whatever I did, I got it just right. So
yeah, it was really good though, but I just couldn't finish it because literally my lips felt like it was hitched.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I felt like my lips just got super big, even though they didn't. But I was like, my mouth was on fire.
But it was habanero, right? I think there was.
Yeah, I think it was just habanero, some straight up.
That's what it was.
Habaneros or something. Yeah. Ghost pepper or something. I don't have.
No, it wasn't ghost pepper. Ghost pepper is only over here.
Oh, okay. I don't know, but
no, Carolina Reaper is here.
I
know what ghost pepper is.
But we did also have some was it carnitas or what was the pork that we had at the end?
Yeah, it was carnitas, and then it was another one that started with a K, which I don't want to say what it was.
Well, I don't know.
The tiny baby pig that wasn't going to live.
Oh, yeah, they did talk about that.
Like if it's the baby pig that's like has a deformity or wasn't going to live.
Yeah, then they said it's the most succulent meat or something. I don't know, but it makes you feel so sad.
I didn't like it. I didn't because it felt like it was very.
Too fat? Too fatty?
Too fatty. And that was the one that was supposed to be the baby pig.
Oh, see, I think I might have missed that because I ran to the restroom.
Okay.
Which, by the way, in Mexico, when you go to the restroom on the street, you may not have a seat on the toilet because this one didn't. Yeah. You cannot put the toilet paper in the toilet to flush. You have to put it in the trash. And that's kind of just local just because of their sewage systems just can't handle the extra paper and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So everything you have to put in the trash can, which even in America now in more and more restaurants, I'm starting to realize they have trash cans in the stalls. And that's why, because in a lot of other countries, you can't do that. I couldn't do it in Egypt either. You couldn't.
Then it saves on water.
Yep. Yeah, that's true too.
Because you're not flushing
as much
down. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So anyway, but yeah, so that was good, and then we had Mexican ice cream. So and it really wasn't Mexican ice cream. It was kind of an ice cream shop that had some Mexican specialty flavors.
Yes, but something about the way that it was made in Mexicana.
Yeah.
Which is how all of that stuff came into existence, but it was delicious.
Yeah, I had a strawberry cream kind that wasn't like anything I've ever had before. That was so good. And then they even had a soursop one if somebody wanted that. Like they had once before when I had gone to this particular ice cream shop, I had a dragon fruit one, which was really good, but I didn't see that this go around.
What was the other one? What was the fruit that he said that this is a fruit? Yeah. That's the one that I had, and it was really good too. He
said it's a fruit that they don't really make it.
They only make it there or something.
Yeah, maybe there. I can't remember.
Why didn't
I
write this stuff down? Probably because I was eating a whole popsicle, trying to.
I might have gotten it on video at some point, but I didn't. I don't remember him.
So good, but it was so good.
Yeah, and so.
But that was really good. I did he took the almond. Remember he said something about the almond tree. So it was I was like, hey, these are almonds. You can break open the almond, and then he grabs it. And and he was just when I was little and I was going late for catching the bus, to school, I used to take them off the tree, and then he's like, this is how you would do it, and then you just kind of break it with a rock. But I didn't know, I guess if the fleshy part is red before you get to the actual seed, which is the nut, then I think that means it's not. It wasn't
something wasn't ripe or ready or whatever. Yeah, because but he had red stuff all over.
I was like, oh man,
here's a wet wipe if you want it. But yeah, I had no idea. I guess I'd never seen an almond tree before that I paid attention to. Yeah. So that was really fun. Then we just walked around Playa del Carmen a little bit, downtown Centro area.
Yeah.
And that was really nice, just seeing the different shops and just it's very. Number one, for people who haven't been to Mexico, it felt very safe. You saw that there were businesses that were really trying to cater to what tourists would potentially be looking for.
Exactly.
They definitely try to get you to come into their establishment. So when you're walking, if you get annoyed by people who are like,
that's
come
always
over
gonna
here.
happen.
Hey, whatever.
You want
that's
tequila shots?
happen.
The tequila shots. And it's
Right.
like, bro, like you're standing in front of a clothing store, but there's tequila shots over here? Okay, sure.
Well, there kind of are tequila shops everywhere. You go to a souvenir store, there's a tequila shop. You know, you go into an ice cream shop, there's probably a tequila shop. But yeah, so it's
and the really names of places were like funny,
weird things. Yeah,
but no, I mean, what was it?
You had Dick and Willie's, Dickory Bar and Grill.
Remember the churros. The pinche churros.
Yeah, we won't say that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say what it is.
Yeah, so. We can't say a couple of the names because we're trying to keep our low, non-explicit rating. But let's just say the way they can name businesses over there where we can't name them is kind of different. Because let's just say that they had another place that was, I don't give a something. And it actually was shaped like a part of the male anatomy. Let's just put it that way. And it was ice cream pops.
And it was ice cream, Remember we were sitting outside just eating away.
It was the craziest thing. Yeah. A lot of fun. So anyway, but yeah, so we did that. We came back. We actually ended up going into the ocean. Like we just hung out at the ocean, did some boogie boarding and all that kind of stuff. That was a lot of fun.
Then what else did we do? Oh, we went to that show later on, right?
Yeah, we went to a show. I can't remember which one it was.
I feel like it was the original show that we sat at, and it was just like, I was just like, yeah, they didn't practice. With the guys and the girls, it was like the 3 girls and the 3 guys, I think it was.
Oh yeah, they were like dancing and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, bro, like this is not like there is. Like, y'all didn't practice. When was the last time y'all practiced? Y'all knew y'all had to do this how many times a week? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we went to a couple of shows, a lot of karaoke. We had a lot of karaoke there, so we listened to people from England and the Netherlands and Canada and all these different places singing songs. And it's so interesting how music can be so universal. You know, just like the songs that they were singing, like Backstreet Boys or something. And you're like, oh yeah, I guess Backstreet Boys was international, you know, but you don't think about it because you were here in America. And then
they sung Sweet Caroline a bunch of times.
Oh yeah, Sweet Caroline. Yeah, definitely. So so we had a good time, and we went to was an adventure park.
Yeah.
And it was an adventure.
Oh my God, it was.
Yeah. So what was your favorite part of that park?
Oh God. Definitely not walking up all the steps.
To zip line. Maybe we should give them a little background. So the park included zip lining, riding like amphibious vehicles that do water and land, and then you have a lot of underwater caves, kind of like the stalactites, the stalagmites, and you know, like just a lot of caves. But then there's water in them that's freezing cold, and some of them are like cenotes. In different parts of Mexico. But these were more like, I don't know if they were official cenotes or just underground water caves. I'm not sure exactly what the official terminology is for it in this particular adventure park. But yeah, a lot of interesting scenarios.
Oh yeah. So. I think that my favorite part would be the zip lining. Probably zip lining.
Yeah.
Well,
I enjoyed the zip lining. I didn't enjoy, like you said, all the ladders and steps. And I mean, you would go up steps and then you see a ladder at the end of it, and you're like,
oh my God, yeah. Because I mean, like you don't realize like how far, like when you're going, you're like, woo, and then you're like, okay, I'm like not far to the top on this building, and then it's like the spiral staircase. That just it never ended, and I'm just like, it doesn't. If it's a spiral staircase, does it mean that it's actually more steps? So that's what I felt like. I felt like because it was a spiral, it was just like 75 more steps. Than
that if it were just a straight staircase,
it would just be like 4 steps over, 4 steps over.
Yeah, I just feel like that would have been so exhausting too. I don't know what the right answer is. Maybe it was shorter steps because
maybe you know what the right answer is for me to get my tail in the gym. That's what the right answer is.
It was interesting because you like go up some stairs to get to like the first one, and I feel like the first one had a ton.
Yeah, well, the first one we had to do the ramp. We go the ramp.
No, remember the first one was when you chose red or green.
Oh yeah,
and then you
could
had
do
to
the ramp,
decide,
and then you
had to go up, and then you went up. Remember,
right.
and we
that
were like,
a lot of steps,
and then we were going up more, and it was like,
and those were all like concrete steps, so it wasn't even like a spiral staircase. And these steps were shallow, like
they were shallow steps, and you felt like you had to hold on because if you didn't, you could fall
back. Yeah, it's like being at the Coliseum. You know, you're in a Coliseum.
Yeah, and it's
like
just
that. It's like
stadium.
If I didn't have that little tiny step in between the other steps, I'd be fine. But that little tiny step is like what's making me want to misstep.
Trip it.
Yeah, and that's how it felt with like going up those stairs. So.
Yeah, so it was definitely interesting. And so you went up all the steps, and then they either had the lines that were slow but long, or short and fast. Yeah. Those were the two kind of options. Yeah. And so we first did the slow and long lines, and the zip lines for that. And you just, you go to the top and you zip, and when you're zipping, you don't feel like you're really going down too far, but of course you have to go down in order for you to come to the end. Yeah. The brakes at the end definitely worked.
Yeah, I was about to say about that. Them brakes, man. And I didn't even know that what they do is they have a string, like they have the rope that they pull for the brake to be out. So, and then when you hit, then they like hold you in there. Yeah, I noticed that when I was coming in, and I was like, dude, I'm about to hit you. And then I was like, no, he's holding the rope.
The rope to pull in.
He's holding the rope to give, I guess, tension. Yeah. So when I come in, then it's like.
What kind of arm strength do they have, I wonder, from holding the rope when a body hits it, because you jerked.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like maybe, I don't know, some kind of pulley system. I don't know. It was.
Yeah. It's hard to say.
But, it was hard to say, but if you weren't careful, like you could definitely break your nose. Yeah, like, because like the strings are like a Y. The strings are like a Y, so you have the two strings coming like from like each arm down into like one single strand that goes like into your harness and everything. But it's like if you hit the brakes too hard and you're looking forward, that thing would smash your nose.
Yeah, it looks like it would. I wasn't tall enough. I didn't feel like my body was long enough that I would have hit the brakes. But I did see, looking at a YouTube video before I went of the adventure park, and somebody's wife's face hit the brakes when she landed. So she had a slight little cut, nothing too major, and like a bruise. And I was like, oh, that's what I'm definitely not going to do.
Yeah, once you told me about that, then I kind of like held my head down.
Well, the funny thing is they do tell you to hold your arms out straight. They do tell you when you first get on the first one to hold your hands out straight. Yeah. But what I found is that I'm holding on tight with my elbows bent because I'm like,
I thought they just meant like okay. I thought they were just like in general, like holding.
Hold it and then hold your head back so that way you don't hit the brakes on the other end. But
there's no way possible that you can do that. Not with the way that you're sitting and the thing, because then you'll be holding it over top of your head. Yeah. Well, no, but you'll be holding it over top of your head. You wouldn't
unless they just want you leaning back. I don't know. Anyway, but that was fun. I liked it too. I think for me, I liked the ones where you went into the water.
Those ones are nice,
Those were fun. So they had where some of the zip lines themselves went into water, and then other ones it was where you had a hammock. That you could.
Which that water was deep. And I did not realize it when I was just attached to the hammock. And then I was kind of like, oh, no, it's okay, it's fine.
And then what? Did you get out the hammock and then realize the ground wasn't there?
No. When once I got to like the platform where it was like, okay, you can stand up, and then I like got over and I was like, oh, that water's black. Like there was no bottom.
Oh wow, yeah, but they had the platform there to save you.
Yeah, to save you, but there was no bottom. So I was just like, bruh. If I slipped, I'm slipping and falling. I can't get up. Okay?
So you walked around a lot of caves there. Like everything led through a cave. So it was like the only thing we didn't do was the rafts. They had these paddle rafts that you could do, but everything that I had seen about them and everybody talking about them was saying like your upper body strength and you just gotta
you'll
keep
be tired.
paddling. There's usually a traffic jam because people are getting all turned around and they're paddling to the right and they're just going in circles and they can't get to the left and all this crazy stuff. So we didn't do that. But we did do the amphibious vehicles. And that had it where you went through a trail, you went over some little bridges over water, you went into caves, you hit some mud puddles, like just different things like that. It was pretty cool. I mean, I thought it was really nice. It was probably, a 25-minute?
Yeah, probably wait, but there was like videos and stuff like that. Oh, you talking about the ride? Oh, the ride. Oh, yeah. Maybe
like driving. Yeah, you drove that one.
Yeah, I almost ran us into a tree.
Almost.
Well, yeah, we did hit the tree, but we didn't go head on into the tree. We just grazed the tree. We grazed the tree.
I was just like, oh,
no, I was like bouncing
God.
around, and then I was like, we were going straight, but then we bounced a little bit too hard, and I was like, oh, okay, yep,
there's a tree.
Okay, put my hands back. He was like, keep your hands on steering wheel.
Hands on the steering
got
wheel.
it. My bad.
She did not move them after that.
Nope, my bad.
So yeah, but it was interesting, just like riding through all these tunnels and caves and different things with the vehicles.
Yeah, and then like with
cool.
me driving, it would be like super bright, right?
Yeah,
super bright, and then you go into this dark cave,
and you were like,
and then I was like, I can't see, and I could see everything that is like a foot in front of me. I couldn't see anything else, and I was just like, I can't see. And then when we came out, I was like, oh, I can see now. Like I couldn't. I was just
if it was a rock, so maybe I should have driven because I could see that.
Now I feel like it was just because of the way that the sun is just in your face.
Yeah,
and then when you go into the cave, you can't see anything, and then like the lights are like so dim. It's like they got a 60-watt bulb on it, you know?
Yeah, and they also did put the headlights on the vehicle. So they
but that's what I'm saying. It was like a 60-watt headlight bulb. It wasn't like it wasn't like a car headlight. It was
but then you wouldn't want, I don't know if you're doing it, I don't know if you could do it at night. I'm guessing they could do it at night.
Because don't you say they have another group that comes in?
They did. Yeah, they say everything is, they have fuego at night.
That's right, because that's when they have the tiki torches all around. Remember, we kept seeing the tiki torches everywhere around. But I don't think I would want to walk around there at night.
I don't think so either.
I think that probably zip lining at night would be awesome, but like walking through there,
I don't know.
Going through the caves and everything at night,
I don't know.
Trying to get back to the heart. Oh yeah, because that was another thing where when you wanted to figure out where you need to go to after you left one of your adventures that you were going to do, and then you had to go back to the heart.
Yeah, there was a big heart.
It was a big heart that had a pulse, like you heard boom, boom. Yeah.
Boom, boom. Yeah.
So you had to keep walking back to the heart. So it was just like we're walking, and then we're like, oh, we're at the heart. And then when we walked to something else, like we were just over here.
Yeah, like where do we have to go?
Why don't they just give us a sign that says this is where you go here? No, it tells you go back to the heart, the heart. Yeah. It doesn't tell you how to get to another spot.
And occasionally you might see, rafts are this way and the heart is this way, but then you're like going a whole other side of the park, and then it's like rafts are this way and the heart is this way. And you're like, how is it?
Yeah, how is it? Everything's over here. Like, what is happening?
It's crazy.
But I guess we were just walking underneath the entire park for like I wonder how big the actual the walking area is.
I don't know, but I know I had over 20,000 steps.
Yeah, I wonder if we can look that up. That'd be awesome.
But I did also I did not and probably never would need to do the expedition, is that what they called it, or the when you had to walk on the hard rocks in the water and you had to have water shoes and you didn't have a life vest for that one, but you just had to deal with the people who, remember the couple who was going on the cruise and they went over those barriers.
When they were talking about it's like the obstacle course.
The obstacle course, but they called that the expedition, I think. It was like the different routes you could go, so you could just go. I can't remember what the name of it was, but anyway, I feel like it was the
exhibition, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, no, because it was something in regards to you being more physically like endurance and whatever to go through this whole thing. I can't remember what the name of it was, but I felt like they called it the excursion or the expedition or whatever. Yeah. And that's what you had to do to, I don't know. Anyway, we had to walk on these very jagged, very scary rocks where you take one step, it's up, the next step might be down. Yeah. There's rocks you're stepping on that aren't stable because it's a natural environment.
Yeah, there are fish everywhere.
There were fish, everything.
I mean, not big fish, but like tiny fish everywhere.
They said there were bats in there somewhere, but I never saw any bats because I never really looked.
I wasn't trying to. I was thinking about snakes. I was like, this water is too cold for them to be some snakes.
It was freezing cold water. You were right about that.
When you first jump in there, like at first when you go down, you're like, yes, like it takes your breath away.
Cold,
like for you to hear a grown man be like, ha ha, like it was like the guys that were in front of us were like, no, wait, hold on, hold on, man, hold on, man. Like it's like, dude, just jump in.
But then what you would do is like you would go through that. Right? Yeah. And then you would get out and then you would have, or actually you had to go under netting while you were in there. Yeah. Then you could choose a route where you would have to go over top of these big obstacles. Yeah. Or you could go around that. And then you also would come out of the water and then you would have to like jump over or go under these little, rods.
I don't know what they're,
wood things, whatever, like a little obstacle course. Yeah. And then you would have to go up a ladder to then get to a slide that you could slide down something. Yeah. Then you get back in more water. And then you do another slide. And then, so it was fun in regards to all those elements, but just the scariness of not having stable footing.
Yeah. Because like, let's say that you hop off and then you go to like jump down, and then it might be a part where it's like a jagged rock, and now you've like split open half of your thigh.
Right, and you sign away your life when you get there. With
it just says, "Hey, you come in here, we ain't got nothing to do with it." That's basically what the paperwork says.
We're giving you a helmet. That's all you get.
That's
have
all
your
you
water
get.
shoes.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting, but yeah, they had different things under, like even like dinosaur looking bones and stuff like that.
They had like a woolly mammoth like under there. There was a horse. They had this big sloth looking thing under there.
It was a lot.
There was a couple of different things under there.
Yeah, so that was pretty
and then we took pictures, like it's a little place you could stand and take pictures
at every station. If you pay for the photo package, which was extra, you could press a button and take as many pictures as you wanted. And good thing it wasn't even that crowded to the point that you felt like, oh, people are standing here, I can only take one picture. You know, you could take multiple pictures if you wanted to, but it would be pictures near waterfalls, picture where there's Neanderthals around you, pictures with the dinosaur bones, or
not everybody paid for the pictures, so then it was just like there's no point in you taking
the pictures if you're not going to get them. But we purchased the picture package, so when we create our website, we will post pictures of our adventures on there so that you all can see the amphibious vehicles and us in the water and all of those crazy things. So
I'm just now looking at myself, my shoulders are starting to peel a little bit.
Ah, there you go.
That's a little... Okay.
So we were there on Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
So that was pretty interesting because Mexicans do not celebrate.
They don't really care. It's nothing.
Cinco de Mayo. It's only really celebrated in the city of Pueblo because of the fact that is where the war took place, is in Pueblo. So they'll do different kinds of events and parades and things like that there. But if you're not there, they could care less about it. But they do things for Americans, Canadians, Europeans who come to Mexico because they know we think they celebrate it.
Oh, look, come over here. Come on, take some more shots. Oh, we got tequila special because it's Cinco de Mayo. It's like, oh, is it really? Like, you don't even pay attention to it.
Yeah.
In America, every step you take is going to have Cinco de Mayo everywhere.
Right. And it's funny because, like, you're right. You're like, well, what are y'all doing for Cinco de Mayo? They're like, nothing. But here at the resort, they did do, like, a Mexican cultural show. So it took you through the history of Mexico, through the Aztecs. I can't remember if they had Mayans in there as well. But
I think it was through the Mayans. I think it was through the Mayans.
Okay. And then they also
all the way up to...
Yeah. So they had the Mexican cowboy who had the rope, and he's jumping through the rope and doing all of that. And they had the female dancers with the bottles on their heads and the nice pretty dresses that swing around. And, it was a really nice show. So we watched that show for Cinco de Mayo, and, that was kind of our Cinco de Mayo day.
Yeah, that was
the excursion part and the show and
like, dinner. Yeah. But when we were tired too, so, it was just like, all right, whatever, that's it.
And then the next day, which was, I think...
I don't even remember which day was which.
That was the day
I felt like we had
left.
so much going on.
Yeah, that was the day before we left on the 6th. So, and we also, on Thursday, no, this is Thursday then, we did have to take our COVID test. So you have to take that to get back into the country. So we took our test. We both had negative.
We took it Thursday? I thought we took it Friday.
Oh, wait, you're right. We did take it Friday.
No, we took
Never
it Friday.
mind. I'll take that back.
Cinco de Mayo was
Thursday. That's right. So the test was actually on Friday. And on Friday, we met some cool people.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Kofi and Mika.
Shout out.
Shout out to our London friends.
Yeah.
Had a ball with them.
They were really sweet. And we had a really good time just sitting around talking and in the pool learning how to swim kind of stuff with Dee and Kofi.
Yeah, we was just like, we're going to do it. He was just like, all right, I'm with you. And I was like, all right, cool.
And then we hung out at the white party.
Yeah, the all-white party that happened Friday night. Yeah.
So the Tequila Ryu had a white party that everybody was talking about. No matter what resort you were on, everybody's like, are you going to the white party? Are you going to the white party Friday night?
Yeah, it was like, it was every time it was entertainment, they had like a little video that talked about everything that happened throughout the week. And then it was like, and the white party at the Tequila Room, and blah, 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 so. And
it was like a carnival almost because you could get your face painted before you went over there. So they had a line of people who would paint their faces or get their faces painted. And the people who worked there would like put different decorations around your eyes or, make you, look like you have a flower or whatever.
It was, very
things.
carnival.
And the blue light of the room was supposed to make the makeup really stand out even more.
Very true. Yeah, because it was like it wasn't like a blue light. It was like
it was like a black light.
Like a black light.
Light.
That's what it was. Yeah. It was like a black light.
And it was interesting because they played a lot of American music. Then it kind of moved to more of a techno kind of thing. Yeah, but originally it was like,
They had guys on stilts. They had somebody who was dressed like a transformer. There was the girl with the hula hoops. There was the guy who was like doing flips and everything.
With the
wings. Yeah. But then later on, I didn't see the wings anymore, but she was still on the stilts. So I think that once she got to the back where there was like a table that people were standing on dancing, I think she took it off then.
Yeah, because you'll hit somebody up beside the head.
Well, I mean, there's no way, like her arms had to have been holding it up the whole time. Like there was nowhere else that she would be able to do anything. She had to hold it like outwards. But grandma, let's talk about the little lady. I don't know if she was Asian or what, but she was the cutest little thing jumping around. She had to been like 5'0",
70 maybe.
I don't know, but she was jumping around and she was singing and dancing.
Oh my gosh!
Like she was the show.
She was kind of the show to the point that the people who worked there were taking pictures of her and video of her.
She's good. You know what? I'm pretty sure that on the following Friday flyer, it's going to be her like grinding on some like little college kid. I'm pretty sure.
She was so funny. She was smacking them
she's smacking them on the butt and everything.
Was dancing, and they had her on part of the stage, like to a degree. Like the mini stage.
Because they asked if she could go up to the top stage, and it was like we can't have anybody go up there because like there was like we can't have anybody go up there. So then he was like, but she can stand on that one. So then they took her over there, and that was really cute because she was loving every
my god, it was so funny, and the guys were just flocking to her. It was so funny.
If it was a young guy, you would have thought he was trying to get a 401k because he was right there beside her the whole time, like all the young guys. And like it was her daughter was with her, so I didn't see her daughter was having fun. Her daughter was videoing. Her daughter was like, "Mom," and she was just like ignoring her daughter. So it was kind of cute.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So the white party, I will say, I had not been around that many people post-COVID with so many people not wearing masks.
Yeah, in a long time.
So since COVID, because it's kind of, you still don't feel like you're post-COVID. So maybe I should just say since COVID. So Dee was like up towards the front near the stage.
Yeah, but that's what was like, come up to the front. There's nobody there.
Like, heck no.
But then it was like,
once I couldn't see that.
Oh yeah. That's what I was trying to tell you. I was trying to like get your attention. Be like, yo, I'm like, when I say I'm going up front, bro, I'm up front. Yeah. I'm not behind people. Ain't no second row for me. No, I am in the first row. I am right there with the entertainers. Okay. Right. You want me to hold the sheet, bro? I hold the sheet in the air for you.
Yeah.
What you want me to do?
What you need? Yeah. So then I was like, I don't know about this. I don't feel comfortable. Like my anxiety was starting to like go through the roof, and I was like, I might just sit out in the hallway and just let everybody else enjoy themselves and come and meet me afterwards, because we had walked over with Kofi and Mika.
Yeah, which was like a block away.
But it's like a short walk. And so I was like, maybe I don't want to be a party pooper, but at the same time, I don't know if I can handle this.
Yeah, I could tell you.
And then I finally moved towards where, once I could see where you were, and people started like moving away from the bar, because the bar was
very full,
and the bar was full, and when people started moving, I was like, okay, I can move up there. So then I moved up, not realizing I was standing right beside the guy who was holding up the ring for the acrobatic guy. But then I kind of felt like, good, I'm near him, nobody else can get near us, so I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you were in the corner because like you were in the side of the stage. So and then therefore it was like the only place for people to go right there was like the door, and that was only for people who worked there.
Yeah, for the people who worked there. So I stayed in a spot that was comfortable for me, where I felt like I at least had a good 3 feet.
Absolutely. You had your own personal bubble.
I had my own little bubble. Talking about bubbles, there were bubbles that were blowing in the white party.
The balloons.
There were balloons that they had given people that were in your hand, like long balloons that you would make like a balloon animal with, but they didn't. And then they had big, huge balloons like that you like you would do with volleyballs or something.
It was
beach balls.
Those were balloons that were the size of like the exercise ball that you sit on to do like pull up the sit up stuff. Yeah, they were huge,
and they were passing those around,
like hitting them around,
and popping. So
hitting them around. And then it was like, so there's this one girl who was, because it was kids there as well, because the party started at 8:00. Yeah. So there was this one girl there that you could see that she, she had like something was mentally wrong with her, like she had a handicap. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm hitting the ball around, right when I go to hit it, like she's trying to get her hand out
Yeah.
there. So then I like see it, and right when I'm going to like grab for it, dude hits it out of my hand. I was like, bro, I'm trying to give it to her. He was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So now everybody who's standing around was like trying to grab the balloon and like give it to her.
She was so excited to be able to hit it. Yeah, she was so thrilled. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna hit that one. But then she would like hit it so it would come back to her, and then hit it so it would come back to her. And it's like, okay. So anyway, but yeah, it was a pretty cool party, I have to say. I hadn't been to anything like that. I don't know if ever. No. Because it was just hookah. Well, see, I never was at that. But I mean, it was like just the stilts, the acrobatics, the bubbles, the balloons being thrown around like beach balls, and just all of that. It was just, it's a
Miami nightclub.
Yeah, that's probably where I've been to something close.
It reminds me of a clip of the Birdcage. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
But it was just a lot going on for the senses.
Yeah.
But anything else you wanted to talk about in regards to the trip that you really enjoyed or just, stood out to you?
Besides, the vicious birds. Okay, let's talk about these birds that was just like, all right, I'm going to put my plate down and let me go grab something to drink. No, you put your plate down, the bird's just like, hey, homie, this is our plate now. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm eating this. Yeah. Like, you thought you had a whole croissant? No, you only got half. Like, yeah. That's how that was.
So it's not like you could even leave your plate.
It was like they were in your face. If you were eating a cannoli, they would swoop down and get it. That's how close it felt. I'm serious.
They weren't that close,
but it just felt that way.
Yeah.
The most entertaining part that I loved is us trying to boogie board and not knowing what we're doing.
We knew nothing.
Nothing.
It was funny though.
I know. It's like, all right, we gotta try. No, that didn't work. Okay, no, we gotta try. Nope, that didn't work. All right, let's go ahead and take these back. Like it was just like we
tried. My arms were so tired from trying to hold on to it and catch a good wave. Yeah. That was hilarious.
The parrots, like the parrots at the zip line, they were just staying in that same spot. So I wonder if they clipped their wings or something like that. And that's sad because they had water bowls and food bowl right there for them. So I think that they clipped their wings to keep them right there.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I was
thinking.
That would be sad. Yeah, no. How every time you come into the platform on the zip line, they're just like, "Are you okay? Are you good?"
Oh yeah, they did. It's like as soon as you hit the brakes and you're getting ready to get on.
Yeah, it's like, okay, stand up, and you stand up.
Are you good? Are you okay? And it's like, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Like every single time they would ask you, and I guess it's just making sure that nobody has anything that's going to be a liability to them.
Yeah. The force of the force that you feel when you hit the brake is kind of like how that lady on Doctor Strange that has like no head, like no hair on her head. Like when she hit him, when he was like his hands were all broken up, when she hit him and his spirit left his body and came back. That's kind of how I felt when we hit the brakes. I was like, oh Lord Jesus. Like it was very forceful. I mean, I just knew that like my body was in Powhatan County. Like my soul was in Powhatan County, but my body was in Mexico, and then they just snapped back. That's seriously how I felt.
No, I did not feel that way. The first time, it took my breath away. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, whoa. Like,
that's what I said.
And then
like
I
that.
knew what to expect.
Yeah,
so then I started bracing myself.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too. Yeah. But I mean, like the original, I was just like,
what in the world? Yeah, that's a break. Yeah, you ain't gonna go anywhere. You gonna hit that break.
Yes, Shaolin monk thing would happen. I don't know.
But that's the part that a lot of people are nervous about. It's like, oh, I won't stop. That's what people worry about with zip lines, and that wasn't going to be the case. Well, that and the zip line breaking, but I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think about that either. Yeah, like. I was worried about that. And then basically the last thing that I had was just the entertainers needing to practice. That was it. It was just the one group of 4. It was 4 guys and 4 girls. They just needed to practice. And to see what the thing was is I guess they were the same ones that were there for the cups on the head and everything.
Okay.
Same people, so they must not have practiced for the first
night. But then they did great for the absolutely.
Yeah. When they had the swords and everything, you see the sparks and everything.
Sparks and dancing and fire.
That first show, they probably just like, look, it's 25 people in here. Let's do something real quick.
It's Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday. Let's just go ahead and dance around. All right. All right. So I should have jumped on your shoulders. I missed. That's fine. Yeah. Spin me around. So
it did happen. People were missing each other.
People were missing each other, misstepping. How are you supposed to do like somersaults in unison, and then it's like while everybody else is standing up, one person's just getting off the ground. It was just
it was a little different, not coordinated. But all in all, I mean, I thought the entertainment was fun. Yeah. I thought that our excursions, which, just so that everybody knows, the Xplor Park was separate. Like, we literally paid for that online. Paid for that,
and the food tour.
And the food tour was paid for separately online. But the white party was a part of the
everything
hotel,
else was part of the
karaoke and other stuff was a part of the hotel. So the water park, it's not cheap per se. It's over $100 a person if you want to do the Xplor Park. The food tour we did with Eating with Carmen, if you want to do a food tour in Playa del Carmen, and that one was really great. Funny enough, I went last year and had Alex. Shout out Alex. So
shout out to Alex.
Was the tour guide for us last year and the tour guide this year as well. So it's kind of funny. And actually, I think he said, because I went last August and had him again this time, and I think he's only been working less than a year.
Yeah, so it was funny that I got him because you was like, "Is this you right here?" He was like, "Yep, that is me.
That is me." That was probably in his second month of working there or something.
Yeah, because he said he hadn't been doing it long.
Yeah, so Eating with Carmen is a great tour. You can do a day tour or an evening tour. I think the evening tour starts at 5. We did the one that was 10 a.m.
Yeah, but I mean, it was still really good.
Yeah, they do different restaurants in the evening than they do in the morning for some of them, not all of them. And so
I would have done both. I'd been like, let's do the 10 a.m. and let's do the 5 a.m. Let's just eat all
our way
day.
Through Mexico.
Eat our way through Playa del Carmen.
Playa del Carmen, right? Exactly. So but it's a great spot to go and vacation again. As long as you kind of stay in the touristy areas. I personally have not had any issues with feeling unsafe or anything like that. I know a lot of people are talking about things happening with Cancun and different things of people, getting snatched up or whatever. Never had an experience like that. And everybody is super kind, super sweet, very helpful. Yeah. It was just a fun and great experience.
I would tell you the one thing that I did not like the whole trip.
Okay.
I hated it.
What was it?
They had the 2 Espolon bottles sitting outside of the restaurant. And when I was like, hey, can I get some Espolon? They were just like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, we don't sell Espolon here.
I'm like, bro, it's on your display. This is your display. It's one
bottles.
bottle here and one bottle here. Can you just open up that bottle and just let me?
It's just for display.
How is it just
open it, pour it for me, fill it back up with water after you finish?
Just give me the bottle. Just give me the bottle. Like, come on.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Because everything else was like
marketing something they didn't even sell.
Yeah. It was just sitting out there. But then then I was like, all right, I'll get over it. They didn't have Crown Royal anywhere.
Yeah,
like,
couldn't get Crown Royal. And I'm sure there's a lot of alcohols that had we asked, we might not have.
Yeah, but I think it was I think the guy was saying something about the trade between Mexico and Canada or something like that.
Yeah, it was some kind of trade situation or embargo or something
down there. You got to go through a whole nother country in order to get it there.
But I'm sure there's other things that they had there that are the exact same way. So it's hard to say. But but all in all, it was a wonderful trip. We appreciate you all just going kind of down memory lane with us. So we really just wanted to share a little bit about our entertainment that we experienced in Viva Mexico.
In Mexico. It was awesome. Yeah. I loved it.
So everybody have a wonderful week, and we will be back with more entertaining news stories next week. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.